Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. First and foremost, my name is Mallory, also known as Mal's, and this is going to be a quick interview with some amazing women in construction. I am super excited to announce welcome to the stage, Rochelle and Emily. These two dynamic construction field. We just wanted to kind of pick their brains about why they joined construction, why construction is important for women, and any advice that these two ladies can also show you. Unfortunately, Miss Tina could not join us. She had a family emergency. So Tina, we are going to keep you in our thoughts and prayers today. But yeah, we're going to pick these two ladies' brains today because between the two of them, they have a wealth of knowledge. So we're going to start with Emily and then go with Rochelle. And you guys just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your role in construction.
All right, well, awesome. Thank you, Mallory. My name is Emily Heim. I go by E. I am a project superintendent with Fortune Johnson Construction. I'm also a member of the mighty 121 Charlotte chapter. I've held director positions and vice president positions within the board. I'm a proud U.S. Army veteran as well. That's where I got the start of my career. I have spent over 15 years in the industry, both on the military side and civilian side. So just have a host of knowledge and just a old field dog. So yeah, that's about me. Michelle,
E,
you
thank
want to take it over?
for your service. Sure, we really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
it.
My name is Raechelle Newman. I go by Ray because a lot of people accidentally call me Rachel. So in the industry, that is pretty common. So I just go by Ray. um, but I had started my career. I got into construction management at Colorado State University, and then I made my way to the East Coast. Worked for an electrical contractor for some years, got went through the electrical apprenticeship program, and then I worked for a general contractor, and now I am a VDC project manager. So on the virtual design side of construction, um, yeah. So that's where I am now.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. And let me introduce myself because I feel like a lot of people think that I don't know what they think my occupation is because I never really talk about it. So I got my degree in business and I started with a plumbing company in the administrative side, and I was strangely enough really excited to be in the construction field. I guess like an outsider looking in, I always thought construction was just a man's job, and you go out on the field and you work out on the field. I didn't know the administrative side. I just thought everything came together. And I was at a plumbing company for over 6 years. I decided to take a leap of faith and take a more kind of hands-on role. So I dived off and went to another company, and that's where I started to learn about being an APM. APM is an assistant project manager, which I am now. And now I'm studying to be a project manager and to go get my general contractor's license and HVAC and plumbing for North and South Carolina. I'm really nervous and I'm really scared about it, but I have been in construction for over 13 years. And when I first started in construction, it was I didn't know women were really in construction. So, tell me what made you go into the construction field as a woman? What was your motivation to go into that field?
So I actually had a unique journey into construction. So when I was in the military, I originally signed up to be a glorified boat mechanic. It's called a watercraft engineer. And long story short, they shut it down to the active duty side. And they gave me a piece of paper and said, hello, you're going to be an interior electrician now. And
Oh, wow.
so they're like, you got 3 days to get yourself from Virginia to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went there, spent 5 weeks, learned how to be an electrician, and then absolutely fell in love with it. I had never envisioned myself ever doing anything in construction, period. I never thought that it was even an option to us as women. Because like you said, it's a male predominated field. I didn't have or see visible role models when I was growing up on the feminine side that were successful in the industry. I never saw those people, so I never had it as an option. So my journey into there was by happenstance, but when I got in, I literally fell in love with it and took it from there. And even decided to end my military career to continue my construction career. So that's
Yes,
how important construction is to me, because I ended my military career for the sole purpose to stay on the construction side.
in the
So that's a
construction.
little bit,
Yeah,
yes. So mine's
I
a
mean,
little unique.
stories like that, and to hear from a woman's perspective as far as being in construction, like, you don't really see a lot of us in the industry. When you do, I feel like we kind of go back and take the administrative roles. We don't kind of step
Right.
into a role like you did. So, Ray, tell us your story as well.
So my story is kind of, I would say it's kind of not a direct path either. Went into college and thought I'm just gonna do engineering. When I figured out I didn't want to do that, I thought I was gonna just go switch my major to teaching. And there was a lady in there. I think I was about to switch my major to math so I could be a math teacher. And there was a lady in there. She was like, "You're at the beginning of your sophomore year. Is there anything you want to try? This is kind of like your last like chance to try something." And I was like, "Well, I seen a construction management pamphlet in there." And I was like, "Maybe I'll just take the intro class and try that." And so she was like, "Yeah, let's do that." She signed me up. I walk in. Of course, I sit in the back. It's college. I'm sitting in the back. So I go to the back. And then I quickly realize all these men are walking in, and I'm like, "You should probably move to the front." And I remember my teacher walked in, and it was a woman. And then someone came and did a presentation for the school's Women in Construction Club. And then I got involved with that. And then that's how I ended up staying in the major. I joined the mechanical competition team, did that while I was there. Knew quickly after some internships, I did not want to stay in Colorado and do construction in the snow. Um, so I quickly realized I wanted to move. And so I got hired by a electrical contractor, moved to the East Coast, and took that route. And yeah, never looked back.
Right. So it was, would you say the defining moment for you was when the lady came in, the woman came in, you were like, this
Yeah,
is
I was like, okay, okay, like I'm not alone in here.
right.
And just seeing like my teacher, her confidence was like, she was stern, but like she still had like a grace about her. Like she didn't change who she was to be in there, and people respected her. And just seeing her, I think, really pushed me to continue. And then I did well in the class, like the classes. So, a lot of construction classes they were like hands on, and I felt like I was behind the curve a little bit. A lot of people in there had either already worked in constructions, parents worked in constructions, parents had construction jobs, and I'm in here like I don't want to break it down. So I had to figure out what I liked about the industry. There's so many different areas you can enter. And so once I found like my fit, I never looked back.
Oh, so now you got me in a segue. So
Yeah.
now,
Sorry.
Ray, what would that look like you in your role, like currently? What does that look like every single day?
So in my role currently, so now I'm on the virtual design side. After I had my daughter, I'll be transparent. I went through postpartum, and so the field was just a lot for me mentally, and so I started looking at other avenues and got involved with virtual design construction, BIM. And so, for people who aren't familiar, what that is, that's the building information model where all the parts of the building are done there first before it gets done in the field, and you can see renderings of the building. And there are different levels. Of course, you have the 2D, the drawings, and then you get into the 3D, the coordination, digital twin, where everyone has their own model, but they bring it in into one model, and you do a lot of the coordination. So right now, I'm looking at models almost every day. I'm not actually building the model, but I am in the models, in the meetings, gathering the information, making sure, just managing, making sure that seeing what our risks are, seeing budgets, what the team needs to get done, just making sure we're not following behind, making sure our clients are happy. And sorry, my 2-year-old's here, so if you hear the piano,
Jamming.
um, she is. But yeah, that's kind of what my day to day looks like. I think I'm on 3 different projects right now, and so that'll be about my load. And so I've been in this since March of this year. And before that, I was an APM at a general contractor. So it's a switch, but I definitely have enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I'm current. Well, now I'm an APM right now, and like Ray said, I look all day. And when I show people, like when I show my husband what I'm looking at, he's like, "How do you look at this all day long?" And it's a challenge because let me tell you, you look at pipe, look at being on the HVAC side, you're looking at pipe, you're looking at duct, you're looking at duct board. Like y'all will have to do a separate Zoom on how we look at blueprints because when you
Yeah.
it's like it's intimidating, but it is so fun to know that you're looking at something that is going to be a structure one day. Like you're looking at something that is going to be like it's going to have, businesses. So, even though we're kind of like behind the scenes, like we're the woman you're supposed to talk to. Like we're the woman that kind of knows how to manage the job. So same question for you. What does a typical day look like in your role?
Well, I fortunately get to take all the fantastic things that you two do and apply them in the field.
Yeah,
but at but at the kind of a more higher level. So as a project superintendent, it's often referred to as a lead superintendent. Basically, I take my team of assistant superintendents, project managers, APMs, PEs, all those individuals on the general contracting side in the field, and we all collaborate and lead together to get the final fruition project. So basically taking all the key stakeholders and players between HVAC, all the different MEP trades, skilled trades, unskilled trades, concrete, and making this wonderful song and dance and getting to the end. And making sure it's all done to schedule, to high quality, safely, and to the biggest, satisfaction of everybody across the board between my client and the subcontractors. So pretty much every day is, I always like to say I never have the same day twice. And it's really
right,
true. Like there's, besides like law enforcement and military, there's no other career really that you don't have the same day twice except for construction. So
right.
I'm up bright and early before all the subcontractors, in the trailer every morning. It's bright and early, 6:15, huddling up with our team before we break out and go get the, as I call it, the general population on the job site into the mode and getting them going and making sure they're doing it safe. My days can fluctuate anywhere between, some days I'll have a 10-hour day, some days I'll have a 14-hour day. It really just depends on what we have going on site, but work with a fantastic team, a bunch of really just problem solving individuals. And I get to do what I love every day, which is take all the great things that the subcontractors do and make them into a usable product for our client. So that's what
So
I do.
with that being said, how do you balance professional life and a home with life with Like with this being a male driven industry, how do you balance all that? Because it, like you said, it is long days. It's early in the morning. I think I get up at like 5:30 to go to work at 6,
Mm.
6:30. So we're
Ye-
up before the sun comes up, especially now that the
Oh
time
yeah.
has changed. So tell
Oh, 100%. And up before the sun comes up and usually going home when the sun goes
me
down. Especially when I used to be in a traveling role too. It
what
was even longer days. But my work-life balance has really just succeeded with finding the different spaces and different ways that I could fill my cup. I have a fantastic partner who, she is a go-getter in her own respective right. So we're both working like crazy. So we both kind of have the same understanding with each other's schedules and everything. So that's really supportive. But then also too, having a fantastic team behind you that can support you, when you want to go out and do those personal ambitions, and they
right.
buy into your wins as well too, is so key. Being a female in the industry, having those male allies behind you is so crucial and key. The ones that celebrate your wins and prey on your success and never your downfall has been a tremendous catalyst for me in my career at every aspect. As I always say, you're gonna have haters wherever you go, right? And especially as a woman, you're gonna have 3 times as many haters because not only are you successful, you're also empowered, and that could be very intimidating for besides males, but just sometimes other females as well. So having
Yeah,
those key people in your court is so tremendously important. And keeping those people close to you is so tremendously important as well because they can make your stuff soar. And so I've been blessed to have that in my career.
yeah. Let's shout out to not only the team, but like you said, having a
Yeah,
partner, being with somebody
exactly.
who your job and your workload, especially now that the climate that we live in, it's been very very stressful when it comes down to construction. And not only are you worried
Hmm.
about your mental and how everything is kind of shaping and panning out, you worry about your people too, because after a while they become family, and you want to make
Hmm.
sure that you take care of them just like they're taking care of you, because at the end of the day, we all want to go home, we all want to be safe, but we all want to, stick to our projects and make sure they stay true to not only timelines, budgets, all that good time. Ray, with you being a mom, a new mom to a beautiful little
Mm.
girl, how do you everything that comes along on your plate?
Yeah, I think initially, it was definitely tough because my husband's actually in law enforcement and he's in military. He's actually at drill now. So that's why she's here with me. And he's like, "Do I need to come get her and take her to drill with me?" I'm like, "No, she doesn't need to go to that." But like the hours is really um kind of where I was like, I need a change. Just so I can still do what I love while being a mom and not feeling like I'm missing out on that either. And so, like I said, there's just so many different areas you can go into in construction and still do what you love and still be a mom and still be a wife and still do those things. And so I was able to figure out, what worked for me and what that balance was.
Love it, love it. So
And I still get to go visit projects. They're just in different states, so they're like
yeah,
a mini vacation for me.
because she did. So, ladies, just understand, like in construction, like not only like my first misconception of construction, I thought it was a male, I thought it was just males. I thought it was just, I felt like there was, I don't know, I guess growing up, I was always in my mind, I was drilled like, oh, nurse, you should be a nurse. You should, do this and do that. But construction is something that I'm a mom of two boys, as a lot of you know, and it brings me so much joy when I can tell my sons, I can say, "Oh, I worked on that project. Oh, I worked on this project." That makes me feel good, and it's just hyping up the ladder when it comes down to construction and everything that is not only Charlotte, just North Carolina, just the world in general. So, I get this question a lot, and I want to hear from you guys. What advice would you give young women, and we're gonna say young men too, that are interested in construction but they don't know where to start? What would be like something that you would give them as far as advice on where to start? Ray, I'm going to start with you.
I would say for them to find somebody in their family who's already in the industry and have an honest conversation with them about, the things that they love about the industry and the things that they would like to see change. And then just the different areas within construction, start looking into those on your own. Of course, you have your electrical, mechanical, plumbing, but people forget about masonry. People forget about doors and windows, waterproofing, things like that. And so, just really finding different people in the industry to speak with, and then finding things like this where you can listen to people already in the industry, or find programs, find clubs, find Facebook groups, just anywhere where you can gain more knowledge to figure out where you feel comfortable and where you want to be in the industry.
Right. Let's start with you. What would you say? What advice would you give either young men or young women that want to start in the construction industry but they don't know where to start?
So all the things Ray said, plus plus like one little tidbit because she definitely hit the nail on the head. Huh, construction plan. But anyways, I am a huge fan and number one fan of the community college system.
Yeah.
Central Piedmont Community College here in Charlotte has a fantastic construction management plan, and it is a great tool for somebody to take a class here and there and kind of figure out what they want to do. But just as Ray said, get out there and just really start with the people you know. Find somebody that's in the industry and ask them a question. Be like, what makes you go to work every day? Why do you love your job? Because I guarantee you, I have not met really even the people that are all old and salty in the industry that have been doing it for 30 years. They've been doing it for 30 years for a reason. Like
There's a lot,
they love what they do, and you
right?
can't tell me that that old crusty individual over there who's all just bitter, he or she loves what they do. And talk to them. They spent, years in this industry, and it kept them here for a reason, whether that motivation was between the money, ain't have nothing else to do, or just their passion for it. They're a passionate individual to stay anywhere for 30 plus years. So just talk to them. And then finding those industry events are so crucial. Just finding, we have so many organizations in our industry and construction that represent every single facet of who we are. Between the women's organizations, there's organizations for males as well. Carolina AGCs, big one. The ABC chapters all over the country are huge. NABWIC, Hispanic General Contractors Association of America, has great representation for those individuals. Get out and see those. A lot of their events are free, and you can find somebody that is exactly like you or has the same exact background or starting point out there. There is somebody out there for you. Picking up a mentor is so key to make it in our industry, and finding you a mentor from the very beginning is probably the best advice I could give anybody.
Right. I agree with both E and Ray. It's funny because I met both of them through NAWIC. E is a member of NAWIC. Ray was at an event, and I was like, "Okay, she's pretty. Let me go sit with her." Like, so that was years ago. So just finding women like these two women that are not only in the construction in very multifaceted ways, but just picking their brain. Like you can talk to anybody when it comes down to construction. Even when I decided to go for my license, as scared as I am, like everybody's like, do it, do it, do it. I can help you with this. I can give you these books. I can give you this study guide, like whatever you need. Like, I think this is one industry where you can absolutely, like E and Ray said, you can just pick the mentor's brain anywhere you go. And like they said, there are different groups for different people. There are groups for anybody. And to be honest, any one of the groups will be welcome to have you, no matter what the group is. I know Goodwill Industries, they do free classes, and I think they're about to start, I want to say, in the spring of next year. They're free. Take a lot of this space up. And women in construction, well, women who are interested in going in construction, don't be afraid to go in and take the space that you need to take.
Mhm.
There are for every single body when it comes down to construction, and don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do this or the third. I remember I was working at a job, and I told my supervisor that I wanted to go in on the field, and he like looked at me and was like, yeah, you don't want to do that, like you want to stay like in the office. And I was like, no, I think I do. Like, I'm bored. Like, I want to go out. I want to do what everybody else is doing. 6 months later, I was at another job, because you're not about to sit up here and tell me that I don't belong anywhere else. So just know that whatever you want to start, from welding, like E said, and Ray said, masonry, landscaping, civil, architectural, anything that you want to do, go in there and go take up space. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's the most important thing you can really do in this industry to learn and to grow. I want to thank you ladies for letting me take your time on this Saturday for this amazing conversation. I would love to continue this conversation again at a later date. If
Yeah.
you would,
Oh yeah.
you guys want to shout out your socials, that way you have additional questions beyond this Zoom. You want to shout yourself out? Go ahead and do so.
My You can find me on Facebook, Rachelle Fields or Raechelle Newman. Same thing with LinkedIn, and then everything else is just I and then my first name. So the letter I and then my first name.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
all my social medias are just my name, Emily Heim. Both LinkedIn, Instagram, all those things. By all means, hit me up on social media if anybody has any questions.
All right, guys. So this is the end of this, but please, again, we're not gonna, stop the conversation. Again, if you have any questions, any comments, how I get started, I don't remember this. Just reach out. You guys already know my social media. Mallory Fox, Facebook, the Glam Lab with Mals. I don't just talk about glam stuff. I also try to, work. So, but yeah, reach out to me. Give me some words of encouragement as I go for my GC license. If you just want to just pick my brain, please don't listen. Now I don't know no job openings. I get that too. Like, do y'all have any job? I'm put you over to LinkedIn. So that's I'm a but anyway, you guys, again, thank you so much for letting me take up your Saturday. Thank you for taking up space in a male driven industry. Thank you so much to both of you guys, Ray and E, for your services to this country. It's very much so appreciated. And thank you so much for joining me this Saturday. So, till the
Yeah,
next,
of course.
thank y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.